Have you ever wondered how they make anti-venom out of snake venom? I mean, you know, you've probably seen the videos on YouTube and on documentaries and so on of snakes being milked, their venom, you know. You've got a glass beaker and the fangs are put over the edge of the beaker and the snake tends to inject venom, but additionally the handler will usually massage the top of the head to try and force all the venom out of the venom gland into the beaker. It's rather valuable stuff. I mean, you know, from a medical point of view, you know, and also from a financial point of view, it's worth a lot of money. Now, how do you get from venom to anti-venom? What sort of chemical process do you use? Well, actually, it's very simple. Because you see, mammals, like us, produce a resistance to toxins over time. It's in our body chemistry. It's part of our biology. So, for example, people who handle snakes a lot tend to get bitten by them. So you'll find, for example, a friend of mine who's a scientist who works with snakes who's been bitten by brown snakes, the second most venomous snake on the planet, so many times that his blood could be used as an anti-venom. Because you see, the blood begins to learn the toxin, if you want to use that word, learn, and it develops an anti-venom in it. And so the blood of that man could be taken out and injected into you if you were bitten by a snake, and it would neutralise the effects of the toxin. Of course, injecting venom into humans would be rather unpopular, although you'd probably find plenty of volunteers if you offer them enough money. Instead, you use a large mammal. Usually it's a horse. Yes, shock horror. Horses, usually older horses who finish their working life and so on, who may have been off to the slaughter yard anyway, are injected with tolerable quantities of snake venom. It doesn't make them obviously remarkably sick. There are strict guidelines by animal welfare organisations over how this is done, even in a scientific laboratory. But the horse is a large mammal. It can tolerate a reasonable amount of venom, and it produces an anti-venom in its blood. And then the blood of the horse is withdrawn at intervals, and quite simply the blood is separated out, and usually the anti-venom is in the hemoglobin. And that is basically what anti-venom is. Usually it's in the hemoglobin. So a centrifuge is used and the platelets of the blood are separated from the hemoglobin, and that's what's injected into you if you're bitten by a snake. And that's as simple as it is. Now, you might find that terrible and horrible, and I can't say that I find it very tasteful myself, but if you've ever been bitten by a poisonous snake, you realise this is the only way to do it on a reasonable quantity. Now, hopefully one day somebody will synthesise this, but snake venoms are being studied very avidly by scientists all around the planet because they're very complex. Also, they're very valuable because they can be adapted to uses such as general anaesthetics and other forms of anaesthetic because of the way they affect body organs and so on. So the effort is ongoing. But for the moment, if you ever get bitten by a snake and an anti-venom saves your life, go and kiss a horse afterwards. That's it.